Metalheads, and welcome to another episode of Metal Verbalizers podcast. Today we bring the power to the metal and some mystery to the metal. Today we verbalize the band SheWolf. SheWolf is a band of mystery because there is very little that we know about the members, and that with intent. To quote the band how they describe themselves, "We're wolves, we're sons of Mother Earth, and our leader, the shaman angel, comes from lands unknown." The time of the band being formed was sometime during the pandemic. I believe it was sometime in 2021, maybe, and their debut album was released in 2022. This band's sound is a little bit hard to define and not really possible to put in one box. And that is kind of what the band says as well. They want the sound to be unique and spontaneous. They don't really want to sound like any other band. I would say though that the sound is very much a mix between different genres. They have mixed in some symphonic metal together with some power metal, and then we have also some folk elements. About the lyrics, they say that every song is going to bring you on an adventure, and that from the point of view from the shaman. Apparently, there is a hidden story in every single song, and the stories will tell you something about SheWolf, the history, the universe, and the world that we or maybe they live in. Here they warmly invite you to join them in exploring this world. The image of the band is a little bit interesting because there isn't much that we know about the band, like I said before. The band is female fronted by Angel, Wolf Black, aka the Shaman, and she's supported by the rest of the Wolf Pack, which identity is completely unknown since they wear masks. And together they are called the Wolves, or the Wolf Pack, but we can take a closer look on, because on guitar we have the Hunter, on bass we have the Predator, and on drums we have the Alpha. They also told me that the music has a strong connection with nature. Mother Earth is what inspires them, and this is the exact reason to why everything around the band is so nature themed, with the tribal signs, trees and forests, and of course the animals, maybe wolves especially. Angel is a shaman, and she guides her adepts in the pack through her magic, charm, and energy. As you can see, there is a lot of mystery around the band, and a lot to discover about them. I kind of like when bands do this kind of a thing, where there is a little bit of a mystery about the band. We have seen similar kind of a thing earlier in bands like Ghost and Lordi. I feel like SheWolf though has taken it a step further, and everything feels very like thought through. I think that it is time to look at the music that the band has released. As of right now, the band hasn't released much, but that is just because of that the band is so brand spanking new and had their debut last year in 2022. They started off with releasing 2 singles called Lone Wolf and Home. Lone Wolf is one of those songs that slaps you in the face with power from the beginning, and even though it has ridiculously fast riffing, it is very melodic. I personally love this song, and it has gotten into my playlist for sure. Home is one of those songs that begins a little bit slower with some piano, and when the vocals come in, we get these angelic, almost magical vocals from Angel. Even though this song starts off a little bit calmer and slower, it has plenty of power and really takes off in what I believe is the first pre-chorus maybe. Now that was the singles that was released to tease us about the album. The album was released the same year and was named after the band. Of course we find the singles in this album, but we can find 9 more songs that seriously packs a punch. One song is called The One You Feed. this one was the song that made me decide that I want to make this episode. It starts off with a flute melody that gives it that folk feel and almost sounds like it's an Asian inspired melody. This melody follows through the song and gives it part of that power actually that this one comes with. Another song is called Moonbound. This song stays with that wolf theme proven by the name. And we also keep getting the huge choruses, which we like. And it really has one of those choruses that I often talk about, which are arena sized. One really cool thing that they have done is that they have done a orchestral version of their single Lone Wolf. So no guitars and all of that. Everything is played by orchestral instruments. And together with the vocals from Angel Wolf Black. In my opinion, it became a very cool version, and I would very much like to see this version live with a full orchestra and her singing. Now, since we have talked about all of the releases, I think it is time for my little segment that I like to call Erik's Top 5. The main purpose of this is to give you somewhere to start when listening to SheWolf. But honestly, I would recommend the full album. But anyways, let's go. Number 1, The One You Feed. Number 2, Lone Wolf. Number 3, Home. Number 4, Nothing Is Forever. Number 5, The Thrill of the Chase. All in all, the band has got a seriously powerful and heavy sound with Angel's powerful vocals, the fast riffing from the Hunter, the thunderous bass from the Predator, and the gut-punching drums from the Alpha. I would say that if you like power metal and symphonic metal, you will love SheWolf. But I will also say that if you like modern heavy metal bands like Sabaton maybe and Amaranth, you will also love SheWolf. To be honest, in some songs there are some similarities between Angel Wolf Black and Elise Ryd from Amaranth when it comes to the voices. And both of them has a lot of power in their voices. When it comes to the future for the band, I would say it is very bright for the first. And if we have a scroll on their social media, we can see very exciting news in form that the band is currently working on new music. The plan for this music is to be released sometime in 2024. And I think that is the right call to give the album the time it needs so that it is perfect instead of rushing it and it not becoming perfect. They also are looking for touring opportunities because they would love to bring their music to the European stages, which also seems really exciting. And I was a little bit unsure because I couldn't really find anything about touring. But then again, the band is so new, so maybe they haven't even had the time to get out on the road yet. But that sounds really exciting, and I hope that they are gonna come near me at least, because I would very much like to go and see them live. Anyways, I think that it is time to wrap it up right now. My question to you is, does this band sound interesting to you? Whether it does or not, I highly encourage you to check their music out, and while you're at it, don't forget to follow them on their social medias as well. Because that is how you stay updated on what's going to happen next for the band. And I am for sure going to follow the band, and so should you. You won't be disappointed. Do you like what we are doing here on Metal Verbalizers podcast? Bringing you some new metal for you to rock out to. Don't forget to follow us as well on our socials to stay updated on what band we are going to verbalize next. And don't forget that we sometimes talk to the bands and interview them or let them come on and tell stories about their experiences from the road. The latest interview that we actually very recently released was an interview where I interviewed the Lassie from the band Memoria, which I recently talked about. But anyways, Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Metal Verbalizers podcast, verbalizing the mystery of the band SheWolf.